Hello coders. Few days back I have received one message from our subscriber stating that he wants to learn Excludes note in ICD-10 CM. So in order to help him, I am going to create this video where anyone can learn how to use Excludes notes in the ICD-10 CM. So today our topic is back to basics conventions 3. So if you have missed conventions 1 and 2, please check in our YouTube channel where you will find videos related to conventions 1 and 2. So this is the conventions 3. So here we are going to use ICD-10 CM 2025 CMS guidelines. So in last video we have learned up to abbreviations. Okay. So today we will start with punctuations. So here first we are having brackets. So brackets are used in the tabular list to enclose synonyms, alternating words or explanatory phrases. Brackets are used in the alphabetic index to identify manifestation codes. So what do we need to understand? The meaning for brackets is different in tabular list as well as the appendix. So we will see one example scenario on our ICD-10 CM book. So here patient is having dementia and he is having Lewy bodies type dementia. So now we want to code Lewy bodies type dementia. Okay. See if we see here specified elsewhere G31.83 in brackets we are having F02.80. So what is the meaning of this one? So here you need to code G31.83 as the PDX always. Okay. And you need to use F02.80 which is in the bracket as a secondary diagnosis always. Okay. Next we will see parentheses. So parentheses are used in both the alphabetic index and tabular list to enclose supplementary words that may be present or absent in the statement of a disease or procedure without affecting the code number to which it is assigned. So basically the nodes are diagnosis which is in the parenthesis non-essential modifier. So the other name for parenthesis is non-essential modifiers. So the non-essential modifiers in the alphabetic index to diseases apply to subterm following a main term except when a non-essential modifier and a sub-entry are mutually exclusive. So the sub-entry takes precedence here. So we will see one example scenario. So if anyone looking for AAPC's local chapter webinar links for free CUs, medical coding jobs in India, USA, UAE, join in our WhatsApp group. Group link is in the description of this video. So this is the WhatsApp group link. And also if anyone looking for same day surgery coding training, please send WhatsApp message to 707-526-3939. So here we are having enteritis. So inflammation of intestine is enteritis. So in the parenthesis you are having acute. In the sub-entry you are having chronic. So this is the chronic. For example, if the patient is having acute on chronic enteritis. So how do you code? You need to code K52.9 only. Why means acute is a non-essential modifier. So because of that reason, if the patient is having acute on chronic enteritis, you need to code K52.9. So that is the guideline you need to follow. Even if the patient is having only acute enteritis, so that time also you need to use K52.9. If the patient is having chronic enteritis also K52.9. If the patient is having acute on chronic enteritis also you need to code K52.9. So now we will see colon. So colons are used in the tabular list after an incomplete term which needs one or more of the modifiers following the colon to make it is assignable to given a category. So we will see one example in the ICD-10 CM codebook. So this is the example I am speaking about. So here if you want to code for T36 to T50 series, first you need to code first for adverse effect the nature of the adverse effect such as. So basically this whole line is incomplete. Okay. So if you want to code for adverse effect, you need to complete using any one of these modifiers. So for example here, patient is having gastritis due to aspirin. Okay. So here nature of the adverse effect. What is that? Gastritis. So here they are telling that whenever you want to code for adverse effect, you need to code first nature of the adverse effect, which is gastritis, which is due to aspirin. So you need to code aspirin gastritis K29 category first, then you will code T36 series. So if you see colon in any line, so you need to understand it is incomplete. If you want to complete this one, you need to take any one option from below mentioned essential modifiers. So use of end. See section 1A 14 point use of the term end. So we will see soon in the upcoming session. So next we are having other and unspecified codes. Okay, so basically other codes means, for example, if your documentation is having one diagnosis which you don't have any specified code, so that time you will use other codes. So if the documentation does not clear about any condition, you will use unspecified code. So includes nodes next. So this note appears immediately under a 3-character code title to further define or give examples of the content of this category. So basically includes nodes means these nodes are related to above provided ICD-10 CM diagnosis. So next we are having inclusion terms. So list of terms is included under some codes. So these terms are the conditions for which that code is to be assigned. The terms may be synonymous of the code title or in the case of other specified codes. The terms are list of various conditions assigned to that code. The inclusion terms are not necessarily exhaustive. Additional terms found only in the alphabetic index may also be assigned to a code. So we will see one example scenario here. So here if you see one example, essential hypertension. So here we are having includes nodes. So high blood pressure, hypertension, arterial, benign, essential, malignant, primary or systemic. So what does that mean? So if the documentation contains high blood pressure also, you can code I10. The documentation contains hypertension, arterial, benign, essential, malignant, primary, systemic also, you can code I10. So that is the meaning of this includes nodes. So next we will see excludes node, which our subscriber asked us. So the ICD-10 CM has two types of excludes nodes. Each type of node has a different definition for use, but they are all similar in that they indicate the codes excluded from each other or independent of each other. So in ICD-10 CM, we are having two types of excludes nodes. So excludes 1 as well as excludes 2. First we will learn excludes 1 and then we will learn excludes 2. So a type 1 exclude node is a pure excludes node. It means not coded here. Okay, so if you see excludes 1 under any diagnosis code, you can't code those both two conditions. So here only we will see the example. For example, if you want to code for hypertensive disease complicating pregnancy, childbirth and the puerperam, and also if you want to code essential hypertension. So what does it mean? So here they are telling that you can't code O series codes along with I10. Okay, at any cost you can't code I10 as well as O series code. So that is the meaning of excludes 1. Next we are having excludes 2. So excludes 2, a type 2 excludes node represent not included here. And excludes 2 node indicate that the condition excluded is not part of the condition represented by the code, but a patient may have both conditions at the same time. So we will see one example scenario. So in the same hypertension example scenario, for example, patient came in with essential hypertension. Usually we will code I10 for that essential hypertension. And also if the patient is having essential hypertension involving vessels of brain, I62, I69. Or otherwise, if the patient is having essential hypertension involving vessels of the eye. Okay. For example, patient came into the hospital. In the documentation, if you see, patient is having essential hypertension as well as hypertensive essential hypertension involving vessels of brain. So here they are telling that you can code I10 and I60 series if the patient is having these two conditions. Why means I60 series included in excludes 2. So you can code I10 as well as I60 series or H35 series. For example, patient came into the hospital. Patient is a pregnant. Okay, in the documentation, if you see I10 plus hypertensive pregnancy complicating pregnancy or hypertensive disease. So that time you can't code I10. If the patient is pregnant, you need to code only I10 to I11 series or I13 to O13 to O16 series. So that is the guideline here. So that is the meaning of excludes 1 and excludes 2. Exclude 1 means you can't code hypertension and exclude 1 codes. Excludes 2 means you can code I10 series as well as this I60 and H35 series in the same encounter. So if you want to learn more ICD-10 CM, just you can watch our playlist here. Here we are having SCC coding, ICD-10 CM, CPC and members only videos. If you want to learn ICD-10 CM, here these all are free videos. You can watch these videos. So thanks for visiting our channel. If anyone looking for same day surgery coding training, please send WhatsApp message to 707-526-3939. So if you like this session, please click on like button. If you are having any doubts, please mention in the comment section. And if you are visiting for the first time, please click on subscribe button.